Good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilly here with a look at your tropical update for June 26th of 2019. As always, tropical update brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters. A big thanks to them, as always, for helping us out with doing these tropical updates. The peak of hurricane season not until September 10th. We're still hanging out in late June, so we don't really anticipate much, climatologically speaking, to happen this time of the year. Oh, sure, we got a little bump in late June in activity, but comparatively to what happens later in the year, easy for me to say, not that much happening around here. Again, we're always looking into the Gulf of Mexico and kind of in the elbow of Florida, the Caribbean, just off the East Coast. We are getting later into June, so we can start to look a little further out and into the Caribbean. But as of right now, there's not really much happening anywhere. In fact, the Gulf of Mexico, nice and quiet. Of course, they do have the first, I believe, tropical storm of the year out in the eastern Pacific. It's one of the latest starts on record. 2016, it was about this late in the year. And the last time before that was back in the 60s or 70s. I don't have the name of this one offhand, but it's not bothering anybody, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. But again, nice and quiet into the Gulf of Mexico. We had some more thunderstorm activity out into the Caribbean, but we got a fair amount of shear out here to deal with as well. A little cluster of storms across in the Atlantic down off to the south. Not much to worry about. It's a little too far off to the south and out toward the Cape Verde Islands. We've got another wave coming off the African coast. But for the most part, really not much doing with that as well. As we head through the next couple of days, a little closer to home, we've got a little lower to mid-level area of low pressure that's going to kind of swing and retrograde, move from the east back off to the west around a ridge of high pressure. It's going to be into the Gulf of Mexico. Worth watching as we head through Friday and Saturday. I think it's going to bump up our rain chances for Saturday. But outside of that, for South Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama, not much to it. We will get some moisture into the mid-levels in the Gulf of Mexico for a couple of days as we head through the weekend and into the beginning of next week before more dry air just pile drives the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. Here comes some more African dust as we head through the 4th of July. That should help to keep the rain chances at a minimum for the 4th of July for normal. Still going to call for a 20 to 30% chance. It should just help us a bit for the 4th of July. I think we get some rain in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama on July 3rd, and then perhaps even again on the 5th. But as of right now, the 4th is looking a bit drier. As we bring this through again Friday and into Saturday, maybe another little area out here worthwhile, but yeah, for the most part, not much happening, which is, hey, some terrific news. So that's a look at your tropical update for June 26th of 2019, brought to you by Pine Belt Gutters.